I'm Christine Persichetti. We are in the midst of a national movement aimed at reinforcing a fundamental belief of our Catholic faith. And soon, Christ's real presence in the bread we receive during Mass will be celebrated by thousands in the Diocese of Brooklyn. Currents News' Jessica Easthope joins us now to talk about the Eucharistic Revival. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Christine. This is a day that has been months in the making for the Diocese of Brooklyn. Normally, Maimonides Park in Coney Island is reserved for lighthearted fun like ball games and Catholic schools night, but on October 7th, it will be transformed, and Bishop Robert Brennan will lead nearly 7,000 Catholics toward a closer relationship with Christ in the Eucharist.
We look forward to gathering as a diocese.
The logistics are everything when you're coordinating a celebration of faith.
And then for benediction from the chapel back out to the home dugout.
The Eucharistic Revival is coming to Brooklyn.
It is the first truly large, major event that we're holding post-COVID. The program, the t-shirts, a rosary bracelet.
Father Joseph Jabino, the vicar for evangelization and catechesis, says the event is a way for Catholics in the Diocese of Brooklyn who have roots in communities all over the world to reconnect with the roots of their faith.
This representation is gathering in a large number to say to the world, we believe in the real presence of Jesus Christ.
The National Eucharistic Revival was launched by the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops as a response to a 2019 Pew Research poll that showed only 30% of American Catholics believe in the real presence of Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. A statistic director of liturgy, Father Alonzo Cox, says he hopes is changed following the Eucharistic Revival in the Diocese of Brooklyn.
It's my hope and my prayer that our Eucharistic Revival here in Brooklyn will be a rejuvenation into that reality.
Nearly 7,000 people are invited to come to Maimonides Park for Mass, a Eucharistic procession, and family catechesis.
We're encouraging whole family catechesis. Many adults feel that they don't know enough, that they need more faith formation to communicate the faith.
So I think this day is an opportunity for the faithful to really give witness to the many blessings that the Eucharist has bestowed upon, the graces that the Eucharist has bestowed upon us, and we get to proclaim that and we get to celebrate that.
The Diocese of Brooklyn is using the October 7th event as a campaign kickoff for a pilgrimage to the National Eucharistic Conference in Indianapolis in July of next year. Christine, it'll be the first event like it of its kind in the U.S. in nearly 40 years.
Wow. And Jess, I know everyone is really looking forward to it. And I know that those that are coordinating it are really putting an emphasis on families. So what will those catechesis sessions that you mentioned look like?
So there will be, that's right, there will be catechesis for children, young adults, and adults. And it will be focused on how we can make the Eucharist part of our daily lives. There will be a keynote speech for each session that will be about how you can immerse yourself in the mystery of the Eucharist and even get the most out of Eucharistic adoration. And so really what they want people to take away from this are real tangible suggestions that they can hopefully put into practice and even share with others.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And if all of that hasn't made you excited about the Diocese of Brooklyn's Eucharistic Revival event, how about this tease from Brooklyn's Bishop Robert Brennan on his podcast, Big City Catholics?
It's going to be something that's a lived experience. So certainly the multicultural aspect should come out in the music and throughout the whole day. But yes, there's that sense of that unity and diversity. But the unity is in our relationship with Jesus Christ.
Bishop Brennan also advised anyone who is planning to attend the event to reflect on an important question: where is my relationship with Jesus Christ? To listen to Big City Catholics, just go to podcast.dioceseofbrooklyn.org or search for Big City Catholics on Spotify. If you want to watch the Mass from the Diocesan Eucharistic Revival event, it will be live on Net TV. Just tune in at 9:45 a.m. right here on Net on Saturday, October 7th. And be sure to stay tuned to Currents News and the Tablet for continuing coverage of the revival, the local preparations, the Diocese of Brooklyn's event, and the national campaign. You can find it all on Currents News and the Tablet. And coming up this Thursday on Currents News, hear the singers who will be leading the diocese in prayer during that revival event. They make up the soundtrack of the diocese. This choir has sung at every major diocesan event, including some papal visits, and now they're lending their voices to the Eucharistic Revival campaign. But these spiritual sopranos say they aren't just performing, they are expressing their faith through song.
Giving of yourself, you're talking to God, and the words, they sort of flow from you.
And it lifts you up and fills you up with all the beauty that the church has to offer you.
So be sure to tune in this Thursday on Currents News for that special report by our own Katie Vasquez. Turning now to the city's migrant crisis. A judge has closed a former Catholic school to the Big Apple's newcomers. The state's Supreme Court ordered the immediate closure of the shelter that was once St. John Villa Academy on Staten Island. In August, city officials announced the former Catholic school would begin housing up to 300 adult migrants. Currently, the city has more than 60,000 migrants in their care, with more than 200 emergency shelters open. A Cuban priest on the road to sainthood who dedicated his life to helping immigrants was remembered by some important leaders last weekend.
The king ordered his death from Spain.
Retired Brooklyn Auxiliary Bishop Octavio Cisneros greeted officials from the Holy See and Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel at the Church of the Transfiguration in Chinatown. The house of worship was founded by Father Felix Varela, who 200 years ago Saturday came to New York and served the poor Irish immigrant community. Bishop Cisneros, who is leading the cause for Father Varela's canonization, hopes the example the Cuban priest set can make a difference in his homeland.
One of the things of Varela was freedom, okay? Truth and freedom. What Catholic priest cannot preach that, truth and freedom, you know? And so I hope that there is still a lot to be done in Cuba to maintain that.
Father Varela is currently a servant of God. The next step in his cause depends on the Pope. If the Holy Father declares Father Varela's heroic virtue, he will be made venerable. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.
Good afternoon, St. Adalbert's.
An employee and a volunteer, a parishioner who helps run the church and the summer camp at St. Adalbert's. How Linda Gaddy makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.